Okay. First one I think is going to be politics. Um, in summary, we have about 10 in terms of the Democratic field. We have about 15, possibly soon with Biden, 16 candidates in running in, at least they're all claiming and they're all fundraising for the Democratic nomination to become president. Um, Now, on the other hand, we have easily riggable voting machines that the Green candidate from last cycle, Jill Stein, is trying to fight to not only unseal in terms of the proprietary software nature of it, but in many ways she's also helping to fight to remove them. The easily riggable both ballot counting machines and the actual voting machines themselves. There's There's two main different ones across the United States. There's the scanner machines, which count the ballots, where there is indeed a paper trail. Which is to say, you fill out the ballot by hand, paper, then you put it into the scanner. The scanner is what is the easily riggable thing. And then there's the electronic direct voting machine, where there's generally not a paper trail at all, and you're just punching things into a machine. So we've got, but again, the minimum margin of error in terms of the exit polls that will even be spotted is 2 points. Okay. Now, with regards to Sanders, keep in mind there were at least 4 or 5 states with 6 and 8% errors in terms of percentage of error points last cycle. So when I've been writing on Twitter that, well, let's average it out in terms of 15 or 16 candidates saying that therefore about 60 to 64 points can be changed of the vote, I'm actually being rather mild on it because it was worse last cycle. I'm just thinking that they're going to try and tone it down a little bit so that they don't get freaking riots in the streets. Okay? And in the interim, we have the DNC fraud lawsuit they tried, but what they did at least was they succeeded in getting the DNC to admit in court that they believe that they have the right to rig elections. So now, with that set up, we have people still clamoring over, and since that last cycle, almost nonstop, Sanders has been parroting the hacking hoax and not even lending voice to his, legions of former supporters, some of who were stuck with him on, the fact that they were defrauded, and it wasn't by frickin' Russia. And we are now having some of it, at least in terms of content coming out, in terms of the thing on the dossier as well on Clinton. And yet, I'm still seeing all over, money's going for, Sanders, for Yang, for all these different candidates. And again, to me, that it's not that I'm not, to some extent, glad that there's still conversations held by these people. Okay, I am. But the idea that any of them should be given money to maybe do more than debate is a bad frickin' joke. Because with 64 points, and it could be more, or at least 60, and it could be more points if they actually do a repeat of last cycle in terms of how bad they were, they could get a contested, convention and completely rig in, never, with super delegates easily. Not even a hard time like the last time that they had with needing to change the tallies of the delegates. They don't even have to do that anymore. they can just do it straight up, and they could completely commit fraud. And it doesn't matter if Sanders, therefore, in terms of people having to put in ballots for him, has 95%. He would still be locked and blocked out of the nomination. That's just a plain fact on numbers. And history of what happened. And so I'll describe in another video my maybe more detail what's going on with my life. But to summarize, I've not had running water in about 7 months. I've not had electric about a month this year. I've not had heat for about 2 or 3 months this past year in terms of since I arrived in Missouri. And now, and I'm not sure if my disability is going to continue. So I'm in bad shape, and that's why you see my hair is a mess. But point blank, I still do care about politics. I still do care about ideas, and I'm still trying to fight them. But to some extent, I'm sickeningly laughing at this because I'm realizing even if I said, oh yes, I'll support Sanders again, not only would I be lying to myself because I'm really left of most of the Green, of at least half the Green Party, never mind Sanders, but I'd be lying to other individuals for claiming that I actually thought this would work. I don't. I just don't. And it's not that I don't think that society has any hope. We do. But it ain't in politicians. And it's not in rigged elections. It's just not. And yet, my heart goes out to the many good people that are still in many ways fighting for this. But I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, why? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing this? Why? I don't see it.